I'm Sue Brooke, and I have been traveling across the country in my motorhome for the last 4 years, meeting a lot of our members in person. And every week, almost every day, I'm doing events on Alignable to teach people how to use it and how to be successful here. And Chuck, take it away. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and let's get
Okay,
this party
so
started.
I'm Chuck. I'm Chuck Casto. I have been here for 6.5 years doing PR, content marketing, all sorts of stuff, the newsletter, contests, all sorts of things to really help all of you to become more famous, both on Alignable and outside of Alignable. So that's a quick recap of what I've been doing here.
Awesome. And real
Hey,
quick,
hey, Sue, can I throw something in on that?
yeah.
Because I don't want to lose it. When you just said off alignable, it just reminded me again, when you put your face on camera, you never know who's on this other side of these screens. I go downtown in my hometown, and this happened when Sue and I wrote our book. We did a book together. So I had somebody come running up to me and they're like, "Oh my God, you're her." So now I get you're her. You do that alignable thing. So people will start to recognize you. So be present and be engaged always.
There we go. We started this off really great. Cherri,
Sorry,
real
I
quick.
didn't want to forget that.
I love it. I love it. Great tip. So, real quick, why don't you two introduce yourself? Cherri, just a real quick introduction of who you are. And yeah.
I'm Cherri Pedrioli. I'm one of the founding ambassadors, and several of my groups were the first groups on Alignable. I am a gratitude and relationship marketing consultant.
Awesome. Perfect. And Tom Kavanaugh, who I haven't seen in forever. I'm excited to see you. Introduce yourself real quick.
So I haven't seen you in so long, your hair grew.
Did it get longer? Okay.
Looks good. Yeah, looks great long. Anyway, I'm Tom Cavanaugh. I'm a founding ambassador as well. And I am a business strategy coach located here in Ventura, California. And I work globally.
Awesome. I love it. I've met these two guys. I mean, I tell you, I met Cherri in Santa Rosa when I moved up there, when I found out I had a sister on Ancestry. And she's one of the first people I met the first few months I was there. And then I got to meet Tom, who I lived in California. So I got to see him a few times and we met also on Alignable. So very exciting. So you want to start with questions, Chuck? Since we did find out we got people on here that don't know what the contest is, and these two are contest winners.
Yes, they're recurring contest winners. So, okay, guys, we when I first showed up at Alignable, I gave them a 22-page deck of ideas as my second interview. The top idea in there was to bring a contest to Alignable, mainly because I had spent 6 years as a small business owner, and my father was a small business owner. He retired at 80. And you know what? Small business owners don't get a fraction of the credit they deserve. And so I came in both barrels blasting, saying we need a contest to honor every small business person we can get our hands on and then some. So that's how the contest was born, and it's grown every year. Last year we had 309,000 votes and 64,000 recommendations written, and over 5,100 winners. So I like a contest with a lot of winners, okay? And all you have to do is get 3 votes to qualify to win in your town. Now, granted, if somebody else gets 20 votes, they're going to win in the town. But just as a base, you need 3 votes. And so that's that. And there's a lot that goes into the contest, but really what it's all about is honoring the givers, the people who have really helped you throughout the year, people you met in a Smart Connect that you hit it off with and you built a relationship with. Other people who, the contest goes on for 8 weeks. We've got another 7 weeks left of it. So, you know what? You could meet people during this time on one-on-ones. That's one thing we advocate. And and if that turns into a vote, great. But what's more important is if that turns into a relationship. And that's why these contests are cumulative too, because at a certain point, hopefully you don't need to ask for votes. You're just so well known and you've been doing so many great things for so many people that people come out to honor you, and we have so many past winners where that's their situation. Plus the contest has helped them get added exposure, added referrals, and more business. We have all sorts of great testimonials from people who basically say, hey, you know what, I didn't know I was on Alignable until the contest came to town, or I won my contest. I was like, hey, what the heck is this? And then all of a sudden they get more engaged and they find out more about what they can do on Alignable, and their business grows. So that's really the thumbnail sketch of the contest right now.
Awesome. And you get a great badge that says that you are the local business person of the year that stays on your profile forever. But I want to get to these two because we don't have a lot of time. Our hour goes by so stinking fast. And while we're on the subject of the contest, I know the two of you have been past winners. Tell us anything, do you have any great successes from actually networking on Alignable, and even maybe it's because of the contest? I'll start with Cherri right now because I do know she has answers for this one, and then we'll move to Tom.
I was hoping you go to Tom. Yeah, the contest, I'm one of those people, I don't ask for votes. I never have. I just truly believe that you need to be genuine and not fake. I don't like fake people, and I don't want to receive anything that, if I haven't spoke to people or they hadn't been to my trainings, I think it was big for me. But success from the contest, yeah, my connections grew, my one-to-ones grew, authentic one-to-ones, people who really wanted to, connect, and business happened. So it was a combination of it all. And like I said, that was part of oh, you're the Alignable. Oh, I know who you are.
People started recognizing you.
Yeah, people recognize you. So the contest is fun. And I just on that note, I just really highly encourage people just to please, please, please do not push that vote button without recommending. Because like Tom and I are ambassadors and stuff, we have 110 votes. And I will tell you, I write 110 recommendations.
Wow.
I do not push just the vote, because to me it's empty.
Wow, that's great. Great one. How about you, Tom? Tell us about your experience with winning the contest and the successes you've had.
Well, I think it's important for me to give them a little bit of history on how you and I met on Alignable and what you did with me, for me, and to me to get me to turn my thinking around about how effective Alignable can be. When I first got on Alignable in around 2020, I was on Alignable. I'm going, oh, here's a great platform. I can sell my services. I'm Tom Cavanaugh. Buy my stuff. And I got this communication from this woman named Sue Brooke. And when we connected on the phone, all I heard was, stop it, stop it, stop it. And it was the funniest thing because she really kind of stood me right up. And I said, well, what are you talking about? And she said, the way you're going to be successful on Alignable is exactly the opposite of what you're doing. Give away as much free, valuable content that has utility that they can put to use in their business right now that's going to benefit them long term. So I shifted my focus. I figured, well, I mean, I got nothing to lose here. I'm not getting any traction the way I'm doing it. So I decided to completely pivot the focus of the way I was doing things. And those mechanical changes made all the difference. Over 20% of my business comes through Alignable because I do exactly what Sue suggested. Every single day, 7 days a week, I post on Alignable. I give away free, valuable content. It's either mindset, it's about other perspectives, or it's about how to be successful in business from a business coach's perspective. That's the first part of it. The second part of it is the contest has given me a massive awareness in my community mainly because when I took Sue seriously in 2020, I became the business person of the year for Ventura for 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So the key for me was that I decided to become part of the process and give away to the community as much as possible. So for me, it's been invaluable for my business because the people that I'm helping are in turn giving me business in exchange for that. And I don't ask for the business. I just give away this free stuff. And now they come to me because Sue's convinced me from the very beginning to become the attraction factor in my community. And I think that that's the true thrust behind what Chuck has done with the contest is it's making all of us aware of how much we can help and support each other. As Cherri mentioned, if you just simply press the vote button, it's an empty endorsement of that person. It doesn't really do anything. It might help them win their contest, but what a lot of people don't recognize or realize is those votes become recommendations for you if someone's written something about you at the end of the contest. So if you're new to Alignable, and you're looking to build recommendations, because in my opinion, recommendations are really the secret sauce of success in Alignable, because people will take a third party endorsement of a complete stranger over you sitting down with them for an hour trying to convince them how good you are. And they can read 30 seconds of what somebody else said about you, and it carries far more weight. So the key is when you vote, write something, hopefully positive, about that person that you're voting for, and then allow that to become a valid recommendation of who that person is to their community.
That's awesome. I, you know,
One thing to add to that. Sorry, Sue. Such a great point. Also, folks, when you write that recommendation, and again in the form of the lingo of the contest, it's what's the reason why you're voting for them. So that turns into a recommendation later, as Tom said. But when that's a recommendation on their profile, like let's say I wrote one, I voted for Tom, I wrote a recommendation for him, it says who did the recommendation, which was me, and it links right back to my profile too. So that helps with SEO, that helps with your own visibility. And the fact that you're going out and writing recommendations for 10 people, for 20 people, whatever number of votes you have, or beyond the votes, it shows you care about supporting small business people, which is what this whole thing's all about.
100%. And I bet you guys didn't know this. Everyone in the room right now did not know this, but anyone can go to your profile and not only read recommendations that people have written about you, but when you scroll down, people can see the recommendations you have written for other people, which is really interesting. And I'm so happy we're on this topic because it changed my life as one of the business owners on Alignable when I first got on it. But here's the thing, when you're writing those recommendations, and Tom's going to agree with me, we used to do a training together. I think we need to do that again, where write a personalized recommendation about that person. Don't write the same recommendation, copy paste it for everyone, because guess what? People will see it on your profile and go, not an authentic person. Don't want to connect with you. If you don't write anything, it's not going to help you at all. And here's one more last tip. Did you know that when you write a recommendation for someone, whether it's on or off the content, doesn't matter. Anytime you're writing a recommendation for someone, Alignable is so smart. They send them a note that says, hey, check it out. Sue wrote you this great recommendation. Would you like to return the favor? So that gets them to go, oh, well, of course I want to return the favor. Let me go write a recommendation for Sue. So that is how this kind of cool thing keeps going. So anyway, recommendations are awesome.
But Sue, one thing I want to point out too. Now remember, this is your reputation on the line. So make sure that it is somebody you know, like, and trust. It's kind of, we don't refer people that we don't know to one another. So it's the same thing with the recommendations. You want to just be very, very careful and again, authentic with them.
Chuck, may I just add one more thing to your point? When you talked about building relationships on here, Cherri and I would never have met each other if it weren't for Alignable. We became founding ambassadors at the same time. We started to appear in some of the same groups together so we could learn about how to build the ambassador alliances around the country. With Sue's help and your guidance, the key is this. We've developed a very solid long-term business relationship because of Alignable, and we've been able to refer people back and forth to each other. That's the true heart, in my opinion, of what the purpose of Alignable is. And I think that there's no better example than what I could give you from what happened for us, between us, with us, because we've both been able to positively benefit from this connection, this alliance that we've developed.
Absolutely.
I love this. And for those of you guys that don't know, first of all, you two have kind of done business together. And Cherri is actually a client of yours, right, Tom? So you guys have actually worked together and shared each other's services. So that's so awesome. Is there anything else you want to talk about that? Because I think that's so powerful.
Well, if Tom's behavior continued to stay the way it did when we first met him in the masterminds, I would not have chose to work with Tom. But had I seen how things change, how Tom really changed how he was approaching people, he became very approachable. And then it was curiosity. So now I was more curious. What is it? I need to know more about Tom, because I'm always thinking, it's like, what do I need? And then, oh, what do maybe some of my friends or colleagues or clients need? So then I had to get in and start building that relationship that we highly encourage you to do. Get in, build a relationship. So I am grateful and blessed that those mountains behind Tom, I attended a breakthrough retreat with Tom. I was down in Ojai and he showed me those. We were standing out at the place in Ojai. He goes, no, those mountains. So yes, so it is huge. Business happens on this platform when you are authentically building those relationships for self and others.
I love it. Do you have any more questions for these guys along this topic? Because these two, you guys are getting massive value right now.
Well, let me ask this, and this has been sort of, again, I've been in contest mode and all of that, but what really hit me, and I want to run this by Tom. The expression, Tom, nice guys finish last. I feel like on Alignable, nice gals and guys finish first. Is that true?
I don't think anything could be more accurate, Chuck. I think that the nicer you are to folks on Alignable, the more the small business owners, the entrepreneurs, and the professionals that we deal with and serve are going to respond to us. And that's evident by the growing nature of our alliances. In other words, my alliance here in Ventura, we're in our third location because we've outgrown the first two. And that's a true testament to Sue's support, Cherri's support, your support, but all of everybody in Alignable coming behind us to support us in helping to grow, to show up at our events, to be the featured speaker at our events. Those things really help us build the alliance and the awareness. So all of these things combine together. It's like a synergy. And that synergy, it's like what is that? A rising tide helps all boats float, right? Raises them up. That's the whole point of this. If anybody in the audience today has a question, now's the time to ask, because we have been doing this for several years. We've been able to fine tune our approach to it, so we can share with you some of the things that have happened and maybe some suggestions on what not to do. I think we've been pretty clear on that already. But the idea is that it's how
Okay,
much
so
you can support and serve your people. That's the key.
okay.
Awesome. So I'm gonna make sure
I,
everybody
I
knows
want
that.
one.
Wait. Please put your questions in the chat. That would be the best thing to do. Please just write them in the chat and we'll get to as many of them as we want to. But I wanna keep going for just a second with you two about one thing. You were talking about recommendations and Tom, I tell the story all the time, your story about when you used to come to Alignable and say, I'm not getting any customers, this place isn't working, and everybody was helping you. Now, I want the two of you both, while we're waiting for people to put questions in the chat, um, to tell us some tips on how to act in groups, because I know that most people come on Alignable, think about, oh, this is another social media platform, which it's not. And everybody's just so used to posting advertisements everywhere and telling everybody to contact them and give them free consultations and all that, which everybody already knows that they're going to just try to sell them stuff. So give me just a couple of tips, both of you guys, on what to do in groups to get the most use of it and get more people wanting to connect with you. Let's go to Cherri since
Cherri?
So this is one of the things that when I used to do a lot of Alignable trainings, and that's the one thing I hit on is when you get involved in your groups, my number one tip is do not join every single group. There's a lot of groups on Alignable. Kind of search the groups, look for where are your ideal customers and referral partners hanging out in. And Sue does a great training on that. So if you don't know who your ideal customers are, go to Sue's training and then go look at the groups and see, kind of stalk the group. It's like, oh, are my people hanging out in here? Read the about us in the group. So for instance, I have the construction trades and services. If you're not in construction trades and services, don't join the group. Go where your people are, okay? And then when you get in there, don't sell your stuff. Like Tom was saying, you be that giver, give advice, and people will gravitate to you.
And write questions and share your challenges, because you know what I've learned is if you have a challenge in your business, please post it in a group and ask the rest of the members, because I promise you 1,000 other people have the same darn question. So then you can help them. And that's why I want to move to Tom, but there's someone is asking, maybe you can put this into your answer, Tom. Someone's asking in the chat, what do you post and how do you post on Alignable?
Okay, so I take the last Sunday of every month and I create posts for every day of the week for the next 30 days. That's the first thing I do. Put them into a folder in a Word document so that I can copy and paste them onto Alignable. It saves me a ton of time because I do it one afternoon and it takes me less than 5 minutes every day to just copy and paste it onto my posting on Alignable. What I post is either mindset suggestions, maybe some business suggestions, how to do side hustles is a big deal right now. So many people, I've heard Chuck, you mentioned, so many entrepreneurs are doing side hustles just to make things work. So I'm doing an awful lot of philosophy and mindset about surrounding the topic of side hustles and about the basics of fundamentals, but mainly about how we think about ourselves. Every single person in the world has skeletons in their closet from something or somewhere in their past. Let's get rid of those. Let's find a way to let them go where they belong, which is in the past. Let's keep the past behind us where it belongs. So we're not looking at it in front of us all the time, because that's what a lot of people are doing is they're living in the past because they can't see the future for the trees, right? So that's the key there. What I'm posting is everything that's going to be positive, that will give you a better feeling about yourself, your business, and the community that you're in on a daily basis. It's less than 750 words every day, and it has my logo of my business attached to it. That's all there is to it. Nothing's ever for sale. It's always about what I can do to help make you think or feel better about yourself and your business. So
Okay,
that's what I do in posting. When I'm running an alliance event, we do speed networking. Every 7 minutes, you get to talk to a new person. So basically, we have a long table, half the people on one side, half on the other. Every 7 minutes, one side, the same side, moves down one chair, and we rotate them that way. The other side stays stationary. So you get to speak to a different person every 7 minutes. Nothing's ever for sale. We always admonish everybody to not sell anything, but to encourage everybody to do two things. Set up a follow-up meeting from this meeting if it's somebody that you have a synergy with. And then number two, if you have an opportunity and you've learned enough about them write a recommendation, a rock star recommendation about that person that you've met in the meeting to showcase the meeting, where you met them. Number one, where you met them. Number two, why you like them. And number three, why do you feel confident recommending them to a complete stranger? I like to find three things about any one person that I'm going to write a recommendation on, and at least highlight one of those three things in the like section of the Rockstar recommendation. That makes a big difference. And a lot of people, because you do it first, you invoke the law of reciprocity, which means that people will feel like they want to reciprocate and write one back for you. Remember that recommendations are really to the strangers that are coming into Alignable New. That's the real secret sauce to you becoming the attraction factor to people wanting to explore the possibility of doing business with you, because they see what all these other people have said about you. And to your point, Sue, they get a chance to see what you've said about the other people. And that, believe it or not, will elevate your status among them, because they see how much time you've taken to elevate someone else.
All right. Cool. You guys should all connect with Tom about that, because he's really an expert at it. And just really quick, and then we have some more questions. Cherri, your quick tips on what to do and what not to do in groups.
No, Tom just pretty much covered. I do the same thing. I post my tips. I every week I post relationship marketing tips. I also the side hustle group is one of my groups, and post groups in there, and the construction. And I'm just posting tips. And what you find by posting those tips without asking for anything, it brings up a lot of engagement. And that engagement is bringing people together. So it may not be with me, but it's bringing the people who are responding, and they're like, oh, I like so-and-so's answer. Maybe I want to have a one-to-one with that person. So just bring value to the group without expecting anything. And that's where I truly believe the magic happens.
Love it. Do you see any, well, I see one question here, Chuck, maybe the one that says, when should one become a premium member? That's
Oh my
a
God.
great one. Okay, Cherri wants to talk.
Right now, this very minute. Why? I will tell you, when I started, I came on as basic, because Sue's like, well, you need to come back to Alignable, because I was on here and I was like, no, there was nothing there. Well, I came back before we have all this amazing stuff that we have now. And as soon as I learned what premium offered, I'm like signed up, because the see who feature is what sold me. When you are a premium or premium plus member, you get to see who is commenting on your post. You get to see who's looking at your profile. And that is your opportunity to start building your network and building relationships. It is like, people are like, oh, well, it's $29 a month or whatever it is. I don't even know what it is right now. It's like, that's your business. It's a write-off. How important is your business to you? So when people ask, when should I become premium? Right now, yesterday.
Okay, Cherri, boy, everybody got their hand on the button there. Tom, do you have anything to say about
Hold on
being
one
premium?
second. I just want to point something out.
Okay, go ahead.
Cherri, thank you for that. By the way, we do have a special contest discount. You get another 50 votes to use to spread out your networking and all your love and all of that during the contest if you do go premium during the contest.
Wow.
Also, though, we do have a discount code for the $29 a month premium, which is called the alignable level or the verified level. So we do have a discount code that I popped in the chat too, if you want to go that route. But again, premium now is $49 a month. And if you do it for the year, there's a nice discount. And a lot of people are doing premium plus too. So talk to us a little bit about that, Tom. Like where are you right now on the premium scale, and why did you go premium?
Well, I originally went premium for the main reason for me was because I got the extra connection credits. I wanted to build, if I was going to do this, I was going to be all in. At the time we had premium. And so I wanted to get the extra connection credits, which was, I think it was an additional 30 additional credits per month. And I wanted to be able to grow that. And I found that by being in the contest as well, getting the extra votes also helped bring the awareness. So it was a really big deal for me. From day one, I went premium, and I haven't looked back from that. I would highly recommend it to anybody.
Great.
Yeah,
What
so
else about premium is good though? Because so many people are like, God, I don't know. Do I really? I'm getting a lot out of Alignable already. What is it that they don't know they're getting out of that they could be getting out of Alignable that they don't even know about?
either one of you.
Say
I
that
think it's the
again?
exposure.
Oh,
The connection credits gives you that exposure, which is the most important part, is you want to be exposed to the community in a way where they see you. Being a premium member tells people that you've made a commitment to the platform and to the community. I think that's most important. There's an old saying that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And this is your way of demonstrating to people that you care about the community and you care about interacting with as many of them as possible. I'm getting more business from Alignable without asking for it than I ever did by trying to sell it to people.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna chime in on that too. I was part of another networking organization for over 10 years. And because I came in with the mindset of building relationships instead of selling, I've done more business. I did probably in the first 6 months on Alignable than I did in 10 years with this other organization. So it was huge for me. And it was people coming to me because of the recommendations, because of the connections. Um, and that's why with Premium Plus, I went Premium Plus because I wanted that other exposure, that further reach, because I can go anywhere nationally. I mean, I can work anywhere around the US and Canada and beyond. But so Premium Plus is another avenue. And so when I said I had 110 votes, that I also had to write 100, I get to write 110 recommendations. Well, that's because I fall into all those other categories where you can earn those extra votes. If you want to vote for people and support your community, that's another great opportunity. So for being a premium member, one of the things on that too, I want to jump in. So when I connect with people, I have a system that I do, and I first look at Premium Plus members, and then I look at premium members. Not that I don't connect with basic members, because I know a lot of times they're brand new, but I will look at who has skin in the game. I want to know who has skin in the game. When you're paying for something, you have more skin in the game, in my opinion. And those have been very, very rewarding connections.
Wow. You guys are getting some amazing, amazing tips here today.
Glad
This
we're
is
recording this. Yeah, this is
I
good.
know. Wow. So a couple of you have asked where to learn more about how to use Alignable. Everyone should be in the Alignable University group on Alignable University group. Cherri, I know you posted a link, but it changed a little bit, so I'll put the right link in there. But just go
Okay.
for Alignable University. It is a group on Alignable, and there are all of the virtual events, including this weekly one that we do every week with different members. So go there that's answering one of the questions in the comments. Let's see, what else do we have? Well, I would like to hear actually from the two of you. Do you have one specific success story that has come from, besides the two of you meeting each other is a pretty giant one, but do you have any other success stories that you'd like to share, like exactly how it happened? So for example, we have this one of the ambassadors in Portland, Oregon, met a guy in a Smart Connect. They didn't even talk about business, and he ended up becoming a $200,000 a year client. Like that's a pretty huge success story. Either of you have a success story like that with any particular networking part on the platform? Either one of you.
Really?
Tom, go ahead. Oh,
Go ahead, Tom.
Okay, so the largest client that I have in my client base came from me hosting Sue's event on Fridays, when she wasn't able to host a particular week, I became the host, and that particular person was the first time they had showed up to anything on Alignable. And he reached out to me after the event and said, I'd like you to be my coach.
Oh my God, I didn't
Uh,
even know that. That's a good one, really. So those are what you guys are talking about, and you can find it in Alignable University group. Mastermind with Sue. It's every single Friday. I've been doing it for 4.5 years with Cherri and other members. So go there. That's what he's talking about. I actually let me really have you guys think about what he just said. Tom used to come to that meeting. Now he's too busy. He's too busy. He's got too many clients. But anyway, he used to come every week. And you know what? He said, you know what? I'll run this meeting for you when you can't do it. And he just raised his hand. He showed up every week, and look what happened. He got to host the event that week. He ran the show and got a new client because he showed up. And I don't know, Cherri, I know that Cherri is one that has taken that to a million times level of showing up. But what's one of your stories? God, I love that, Tom. I had no idea.
Yeah, I have several, really, and it's because I do show up. Like I said, for 4 years, I was doing a lot of different alignable trainings with Sue. We have our fun, effective one-to-ones, things that are going to be coming back. We're going to bring them back. We're going to resurrect them. But being seen, being heard, and working with clients that found me through my trainings, and then I'm working with them, and then some people signed up to work with me, and then I hadn't heard from them for a while, and now they're back 3 years later going, I'm so glad I'm still working with you, and it has just really escalated their business. And some of them I don't hear from all the time, but this one particular person that just happened the other day, it's like, I attended your training, I signed up for what you were offering, and I just pay my thing, and I'm there because you have value. And it was like, she goes, and now I get to work with you closely, and I didn't know I can do that. And that's been just huge, huge, which
Are you
is,
talking about the BRC group?
well, no, not, well, that too. That's another
Okay,
thing too. No, this is a client that I have that, we've been working together on a very small scale for over the last 3 years. And then it was like, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I need more and I want more. Right. So it just continues. And then of course the BRC group, that's a no-brainer.
yeah, go ahead and just real quick plug for that, because Cherri is one of the few people that has a group on Alignable. Anyway, go ahead real quick.
Yeah, so BRC group, it started out something very different, but has turned into what it is. It's business relationship community. It's a personal development for business growth, and just the success that I'm seeing in that group, and it's very minimal charge, getting great value in that. So it's not like it's super expensive, but people have grown in their personal life and in business, because it is the foundation. You are the foundation. And if you are not taking care of you first, and I know that firsthand, which I am grateful for working with Tom and Michael and some of the other people I've met on Alignable. I've done personal development for my whole life, but it hadn't been until I met two human beings on Alignable that have changed my life, my world. So Tom Kavanaugh being one, Michael Mulkey another, that have just escalated my business, which led me to creating BRC. And it's been phenomenal for my members.
Awesome. Yeah, you can post the link in there if anybody wants to learn more about joining Cherri's group as well. So, oh my God, my head's exploding of all these different things. Chuck, do you have another question, or is there any in the thing here
Well,
that
I answered a couple here, and you have the link there too. Yeah, you know what? I'd like to ask you guys a question on, what would you say, Tom, percentage wise, how much of your business comes from Alignable now? I think you were saying something about 20%, but is that, current, or What number would you put on that?
All of my new business, 20% of my new business comes from Alignable consistently.
Great, great.
Yeah, and I have three different levels of coaching, so I make it affordable for anybody from entry level all the way up to experienced. That's the reason why I think it's important to understand that you have to craft your offer for the people on Alignable to meet what their needs are. You know, we have a difference between a unique selling proposition, which is what you do, and then a market dominating position, which is what you do for them. And the key here for me is to have a market dominating position where I can make it available for everybody and in different levels. So that's the key for success on Alignable is if you only have one thing, I want to encourage you to have maybe a lower level and then a higher level because you will never know about the opportunity to earn more from people who can afford it if you don't give them the opportunity to know that it's available to them. I think that's critically important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then as the lesser priced one with still massive value, you're allowing people to get in entry level, build momentum with you, and then you can ascend them up into the higher levels of what you offer, whether it's a product or a service. And a lot of times people don't know what they need because inherent in every solution is a new set of challenges that they don't know they're going to have. You have to craft that offer to provide those solutions as well. Does that make sense? And does that answer your question?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I just had one in my head. It just went away. Cherri, oh, I know what it was. I want to make sure you guys, oh, well, I have two. The first, have either of you had very much of a chance to really dig into the new AI features here on Alignable, and looking into people's second degree networks and using the My Network page? Is there anything that you want to comment on there? I know it's a pretty new feature. If those of you guys don't want to know a little more about it, tomorrow I'm doing a what's new on Alignable and going through all of that if you go to the Alignable University group. But if either of you had a chance to try the new AI networking coach and the My Network page.
I have a little bit. Because Sue said it's new and I use it a little bit. But I've been kind of off. We're just coming back from holiday time. And the little bit that I have looked into it, I really like it. I'm going to really stress one thing, and Sue will stress this tomorrow in the training, is do not use that AI coach and put that or send that message. Take it, tweak it, craft it as it's coming from you is my biggest tip. Do not take what they're saying.
I mean, you could use it. Yeah, use it, but just make it personal.
Absolutely.
Yours, make it yours. It's your communication.
I'd have to echo that sentiment as well. I think anything with AI right now still needs to be transitioned into our personality. And the only way you can do that is by editing what comes out and then putting it back out with, you know, your personal touch to it. I think that's critically important. And the further we go into AI, the better it develops, the more useful this tool will be for everybody. And I'm looking forward to getting on to that meeting that you're going to host, Sue, because I think that now is the time for all of us. You know, a lot of people missed computers when they first came out. They didn't really understand how to take advantage of it in the beginning because it was a fad or whatever that was. AI is here to stay, and AI is going to impact our lives in a way that massively differentiates the direction of where we're going. And I believe that by getting hold of the information now, we are going to have a much better opportunity. We're poised like no other time in history to take advantage of that. So I'm looking forward to that, Sue.
Yes, and that's what Alignable has done over especially this past year, and it's constantly being improved. In fact, just last week, that's why you should all come to what's new on Alignable tomorrow to learn the newest thing. But they just did another huge improvement that was just launched at the end of last week. So it's using AI to help you, every one of you, find your ideal customers and your ideal referral partners, how to learn how to meet one person, this is another great topic if either of you have a comment on it. So many people think that when they meet one person, that they're just meeting that one person, but you have no idea who that person knows. In fact, that person doesn't even know who they know. I say this all the time. I could ask any of you, like, Tom, exactly how many people in your network fit with my ideal customer, my ideal referral partner? And Tom would say, I don't know. But if I go to his, if I go to my network page and I click on Tom, it will say, hey, Tom has 14 of your ideal customers and 36 of your ideal referral partners. Here, click this button to go see them. And then I get to see his entire network, and the networking coach will help me find those people and also help me craft a message to Tom asking if he would mind giving me an introduction. Like, it's amazing what this new AI technology is doing on Alignable and how our software engineers are making it work. So I just want to make sure we talk about that.
So I want to jump in on that. So with that, when you're making those connections, again, this goes back to really being authentic. So I'm getting a lot of those. And it's like, hey, I see that you're connected to so-and-so. If you don't know that person, because like I am connected to a lot of people that I have not personally met, you need to respond back to them and let them know, you know what, you and I haven't had a conversation, or they and I have not talked. Don't just send those just because you're connected. Again, it goes back to your reputation. I'm not going to connect somebody just because I'm connected if I haven't had conversation.
Exactly.
You know, to your point, Sue, I think one of the things that I'd like to point out to everybody in the audience today is that I don't know of any other platform around, whether it's social media, whether it's CRM platforms, whether it's marketing platforms. I don't know of any other platform that's doing for us, small business owners, entrepreneurs, professionals, what Alignable is doing for us. Remember, it's not just a small business owner. A lot of entrepreneurs don't look at themselves as a small business owner. They look at themselves as an entrepreneur. A lot of us who are basically what we would call solopreneurs, let's face it, we're basically professionally unemployable. We don't want to work for anybody else. Okay. And the key is Alignable is here to support that concept, that mindset, to make us as strong individually in the marketplace as anybody can be. They're giving us the tools. They're investing millions of dollars in this technology that is going to take us to the next level. In this year alone, I believe that everybody in this room can double their business if you utilize the tools that Sue just pointed out, in addition to everything else that we have. That networking tool right there can make more introductions for you than any other company that you could hire and pay hundreds or thousands of dollars to go find these same people that Alignable is doing for you for free. So really take a look at it, join the group tomorrow and next week when you do the other training, and take a few minutes and learn these tools, because let me tell you what, this is the entry level for these tools. They're going to get more complicated. They're going to get more sophisticated. If you're in now, you get a chance to grow with the tools and the way that they're going to expand your ability in the marketplace.
Whoa, that was pretty amazing. Yes, that is so true. And I see a question that came in while you were talking that says, is seeing your connections group only for premium memberships? You can see your connections when you click my network. But to be able to see into other people's other people's networks, and to utilize that AI technology for finding those people, yes, you need to be on one of our memberships. So like Tom just said, thank you for saying this. Alignable is spending millions of dollars, and keep in mind, Cherri says this all the time, Alignable is a business too, and their business is to help you find more customers, which is what we all want to do, and those referral partners that can send you more customers. So that was actually amazing advice. Very, very good. I want to, oh, go ahead.
One more thing that we have to definitely talk about really quickly.
Yeah.
Why is it so important to fill out that profile in the first place? Because
Ooh,
if
that's
you
a good
don't fill out the profile well enough, AI can't help you, right?
Exactly. If you don't know those ideal customers or referral partners, and Chuck, thank you for saying that. None of that AI technology will help be able to help you. None of it. So yeah, you guys answer that question about the profile and any tips on what people should be doing right away on their profile.
I saw somebody in there that said, what's the best way to find a coach?
Wait,
I think
yeah,
it
wait,
depends
wait.
upon the type.
Yeah, let's get this question answered. We only have like 4 minutes
So
left. So
I'll just
Okay.
go on the profile. Just make sure you have your banner. Make sure it speaks to who you are, what you do. Make sure you have your pictures, and you make sure you have your ideal customer referral partners. And again, go back to Sue's training and be specific. Don't just put the tags. Have something written there. Let people know who you are and your contact information.
Sue,
perfect.
could you speak to the search function on that?
The what?
The search function on how to find the different type of person that you're looking for? I think that'll answer the question.
Oh yeah. So on your profile, you fill it all out. Now I do a profile workshop. There is a replay in the Alignable University group that will tell you how to choose those right tags, like Cherri just said. If you are, so for example, Tom is a business coach, he chooses to take business coach. So in our business directory, that is why you need this profile filled out. That's one of the many reasons. But number one, if you want to find someone saying, well, how do you find a coach? Well, how do you find any kind of business? Go to our business directory, type it in, and say you're looking for whatever it is you're looking for, and the business directory will come up with the people on Alignable that fit that. Now, if you are a coach and somebody's looking for a coach, but you don't have those tags filled out on your profile, you're not going to show up in the business directory. So that's really important. And number two, like they were saying, on the section that says describe your ideal customer, make sure those tags are chosen or the AI is not going to help you find them. The ideal referral partner is the most important of everything on Alignable. And those are the people that have your ideal customers in their network. So make sure your profile is filled out. Thank you for asking that, Chuck. And I have one more. I want to make sure I just really super quick because we only have 4 more minutes left. And thanks you guys for being here. Cherri, I know your number one thing that we don't talk about, I don't think enough on Alignable is this. So when you're on social media, everybody's like, I have 5 million friends on Alignable and I have 5 million connections, but nobody knows them. Nobody talks to them. Following up is, I know, Cherri's passion for how she has become a massively successful. She has a commercial plumbing company that she became very, very, very good at following up and building those relationships. Cherri, can you talk a real quick, maybe give some tips on how to follow up on Alignable?
Yeah, actually, I'm resurrecting that. Fortune is in the follow-up event, so you can find that on Alignable. It is important. So you have to follow up with every single person, that whether they are a one-to-one, you're meeting them at the Alliance. I've had people come to me and say, hey, I met so-and-so at the Alliance and they're just not returning my call. Don't be that person. If you're at a business networking event and you want to meet people and then you're not responding, then you're not serious about your business.
Hey,
Follow
tell
up.
that story, Cherri, about the girl that you wanted to use her product.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
So
this
yeah,
is such a
so
good one.
I met this gal. She had a product that I was very interested in because I like exploring other things. And anyway, so we met at a networking event. I followed up with her because I have a system that I use. I followed up. She got my card, and then I heard nothing. And so I had left her a text message, still heard nothing. 3 months went by, and I run into her again. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so glad I saw you. I got your card. And she's going on and on and on. She goes, are you ready to talk? I can show you what I have now. I said, I moved on. I already found another consultant that does what you do. And she was just like, you did what? You didn't follow up with me. You lost me as a customer. Follow up with people. It just, there are strategies. I'm going to go over some strategies that I use. So like I said, I am resurrecting the fortune of the follow-up because it is crucial to your business and in your networking life, just in general. So
Exactly. I
yeah.
love it. And Tom, do you have any last minute tips? We're down to 1 minute. Do you have any last minute, your biggest tip for anybody in the room here on it be successful here on Alignable?
In real estate, the secret is location, location, location. In alignable networking, the secret is follow up, follow up, follow up. It's just that simple.
Wow. Okay, that's a good ending there. Chuck, any last words?
I think these two have said it all. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I think they covered it all. Great.
I love it.
Great
Thanks everyone.
Well, thank you for the opportunity
Thanks for
to be
having
here
us.
again. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right, everyone, go back to the Alignable University group, register for next week's episode. I don't know who our guests will be, but everyone
Hold
head
on a
back.
second.
Good,
Hold on.
whoever they are.
Hold on. Answering John's question, fortunately, the follow-up is in the construction trades and services group.
Okay, everyone go back to where you registered for this event today and connect with Tom and Cherri for sure. You want to get in touch with them. They're amazing. They're just two of the most amazing people on Alignable. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow on What's New on Alignable, or on Friday for the mastermind or any other events we have. And Chuck, you're absolutely amazing. Thank you for being here. And I hope we see you next week, right?
Thank you
Right.
again.
See you all next week, folks.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.